You ever wonder how your streaming service just knows what movie you'll want to watch next? Or how a news app can take thousands of articles and just instantly sort them into the right topics? Well, it's not magic. It's really all about finding hidden patterns. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the powerful technique that makes all of that possible.
All right, so let's frame this whole thing as a puzzle. Just think about our digital world for a second. It is a constant, totally overwhelming flood of information. I mean, from your social feeds to the news, it's just this giant, messy pile of stuff, right? The real challenge is finding any kind of order hidden inside all of it.
So, the big question is, how do we find the signal in all that noise? How can a computer possibly look at a totally random collection of things, customers, news articles, even the pixels in a photo, and somehow discover the hidden structure that connects them all? Okay, picture this. I hand you a giant box filled with thousands of mixed-up photos of animals. You haven't been told which ones are cats or dogs or birds. Nothing. You just have the pictures. And your job is to sort them. I mean, where would you even begin? That right there, that's the exact challenge we're tackling.
And the solution, the really brilliant technique that solves this puzzle, is something called clustering. Now, it's a fundamental concept in data science and machine learning, and it might sound complicated, but the idea behind it is actually incredibly intuitive.
So this is the core of it, right here. Clustering is basically a way for a computer to scan that mountain of unlabeled data and, all on its own, find the natural similarities. It groups things into what we call clusters. The most important thing to get here is that it's all about discovery, not instruction. Nobody tells it what to look for.
And this gets at a really powerful philosophy. See, instead of us trying to force data into categories we've already made up, clustering just kind of steps back. It lets the patterns that are already in the data emerge by themselves. We're pretty much just asking the data, hey, how would you organize yourself?
Okay, so this might all sound a little bit abstract, but the thing is, you are interacting with clustering every single day, probably without even realizing it. So let's look at a few real-world examples that might actually surprise you.
We're talking about everything from the way businesses try to understand their customers, to how you read the news, and even to the way images get optimized on your screen. Clustering is like this invisible engine organizing information behind the scenes.
So think about a big online store. They've got millions of users. Now, instead of trying to look at every single person individually, they can use clustering to find natural groups. Maybe they find a cluster of frequent bargain hunters, or another one of high-end weekend shoppers. And this happens without anyone putting labels on you. The system just finds these groups based on how people behave.
Or, hey, what about the news? A big story breaks, and all of a sudden, hundreds of articles are published about it. Well, clustering algorithms can sift through all of them, figure out which articles are about the exact same story, and group them together for you. It all happens automatically. That neat, organized topic headline you see, yeah, that's clustering at work.
So how does this actually work? I mean, what makes clustering so different from other types of machine learning? Well, it all comes down to this really powerful idea called unsupervised learning, which is basically learning without a teacher.
And this slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. See, a lot of machine learning is supervised. You show it thousands of emails that you've already labeled spam or not spam, and it learns the rules from there. But clustering is unsupervised. You just give it all the data, the whole messy pile, and it figures out the groups by itself. It's kind of like the difference between memorizing flashcards and discovering a new law of physics.
Now, there are a bunch of different mathematical methods or algorithms that make this happen. You've got things like K-Means, which is awesome for finding these nice, round, well-defined groups, perfect for customer segments. Then there's hierarchical clustering, which builds more of a tree-like structure. That's really useful for understanding relationships, like in biology. The point is, there are different tools in the toolbox for finding different kinds of patterns.
So, as we start to wrap this up, let's just pull it all back to the big picture. Because this isn't really just about data points on a chart, it's about a really fundamental way of making sense of the world around us.
At the end of the day, what clustering really is a tool for discovery. It helps us find order in chaos, it lets us see connections we never would have noticed, and it allows the data to tell its own story, totally free from our own biases. It helps us uncover the hidden structure of our world.